Yes! I literally just made a video like 2 days ago asking you guys what the hell is going on with Dillian Whyte, because I wanted to know who is this man going to be fighting in his next, who is he going to be fighting next? And I told you guys on this video that I want to see him in there against Alexander Povetkin or Luis Ortiz, because those are, like, in my opinion, the two best fights out there for him. If it's not going to be Wilder or Joshua, Povetkin or Ortiz is a great fight for Dillian Whyte. And then I just find out that Eddie Hearn has said that he's basically has 4 options for Dillian Whyte for his next fight. It's either going to be against Luis King Kong Ortiz, Alexander Povetkin, Agit Kabayal, or Emmanuel Charr. Now, obviously, the 2 guys I want Dillian Whyte to fight out of those 4 guys is Ortiz and Povetkin. Kabayal and Charr. I saw Agit Kabayal fight one time, and that was when he fought Derek Chisora, and he was supposed to lose against Derek Chisora. Agit Kabayal was put in there against Derek Chisora to basically, for Derek Chisora to basically have like an easy fight, but he ended up losing against him. And that was honestly the only time I saw Agit Kabayal. It was when he fought Derek Chisora one time. I have not seen him I have not seen him fought since. Emmanuel Charr. Now, Emmanuel Charr would get knocked the fuck out cold. And I mean cold against Dillian Whyte. This guy has been knocked out so many times. He got knocked out against Alexander Povetkin. He got knocked out against Marius Briedis, who is a cruiserweight who came up to heavyweight to fight him. He got knocked out by Vitaly Klitschko several years ago. So, yeah, if he fought Dillian Whyte, I would 100% pick Dillian Whyte to KO this guy. That's a fight I don't want to see. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, wait, let me do some research here for a second while I'm recording this video. Isn't Manuel Charr a champion? Let's see, Manuel Charr. I believe he's a champion, isn't he? Doesn't he hold a belt? Let's see. Oh, I was right. He's the WBA regular champion. Okay, so interesting. So, okay, now I wouldn't write off Dillian Whyte versus Manuel Charr, because Manuel Charr is the WBA regular champion. Now, obviously, when it comes to the WBA, at least the heavyweight, they have like a bunch of it's odd for like the WBA. They have like a bunch of belts. They have like the WBA heavyweight championship belt, the WBA super championship belt, and I guess the regular. Obviously, the guy who holds the legit belt is Anthony Joshua, but this is like a version of the belt. So the fact that Eddie Hearn is mentioning Manuel Charr as an opponent, I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Hearn put him in there just for Dillian Whyte to have an easy fight, an easy title win. Because I'm telling you right now, if Manuel Charr fought Dillian Whyte will knock this guy out cold, and he would win the WBA regular heavyweight champion. I mean, that is a way to become a champion, because he would be considered a champion. Although, let's be honest, do any of us consider Manuel Charr a champion? Hell no. No, he's not a champion. We just consider Deontay Wilder. Matter of fact, when have you ever I'm laughing because when have you ever heard anybody say, yo, Manuel Charr, he champion, bro. He a champion. You never hear that, because we only consider Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua as, the real champions, because they have the legit belts. He has a regular belt. So it really wouldn't mean anything, but I would think for like Dillian Whyte, it would mean something, because it would be like, oh, I'm a champion, even though he's really not a champion if he beat Manuel Charr. But I could totally see Eddie Hearn putting in Manuel Charr in there with Dillian Whyte, just because that would make it an easy title win for Mr. Dillian Whyte. I definitely don't want to see him in there against Agit Kabayal, though. Come on, no. Please, I hope. If you're going to put him in there against somebody who's not Povetkin and not Luis Ortiz. Don't put him in there against the Kabayal. Come on, man. Who wants to see that? Do you guys want to see Dillian Whyte versus the Kabayal? Hell no. I could understand Manuel Charr. Even though I think that's an easy fight for Dillian Whyte, I could understand because he's a champion. He holds a version of a belt of the WBA strap. So I could understand why, for a business move, why Eddie Hearn would want to put Dillian Whyte in there just because it'll be an easy title win for Mr. Dillian Whyte. But so yeah, I could understand that. But when it comes to a Kabayal, no, I don't want to see that fight. I don't like that fight at all. I don't like that fight at all. But of course, the guy I want to see Dillian Whyte in there against the most is Luis Ortiz and Alexander Povetkin. I freaking hope it's Alexander Povetkin. Could you imagine Alexander Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte? I just think that style matchup is awesome. Somebody's getting put to sleep in that fight. And I mean, it would be great. It would be, first of all, that's a fight that could sell. Alexander Povetkin has fought twice in the UK, and he had 2 good performances in the UK. He knocked out David Price cold in the UK. He also was doing fairly well against Anthony Joshua before he got knocked out against Anthony Joshua. So the UK boxing fans, they know who he is. So if Eddie Hearn made Alexander Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte in the UK, that fight would sell. I would imagine that fight would sell because the UK boxing fans, they know who Alexander Povetkin is. They've seen him fight there, and if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you know who Alexander Povetkin is. He's been around for several years, so you know who he is. You know he's a big puncher. You know he comes to knock your head off. So that would just be I would imagine that would easily sell. Even Luis Ortiz, just as a fan, I think that's a great fight, Luis Ortiz. That's a fight that I would get excited for. I would get excited for either Povetkin or Luis Ortiz, but I'm just happy that Eddie Hearn is throwing both of those 2 guys' names in there. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the 2 guys that I want to see Dillian Whyte in there against the most. Again, I don't want to see Dillian Whyte in there fight some rubbish, low-level guy that nobody ever heard of. A guy ranked top 50 or something. Don't do it. I hope, Eddie Hearn talked a lot of shit about Tyson Fury fighting Tom Schwartz. I hope he doesn't put, Dillian Whyte in there with somebody like a fucking Tom Schwartz, an unknown guy that nobody's going to give Dillian Whyte credit for. I want to give Dillian Whyte credit for his next fight, right? If he fights Luis Ortiz or Dillian Whyte, I will give him credit. Again, I wouldn't really like him. I would not personally like him fighting Manuel Charr, but I would totally understand why that fight would be made, just because that's an easy belt for Dillian Whyte, And then Dillian Whyte could go around saying, hey, I'm the WBA heavyweight champion of the world, right? So I'm just happy. I hope it's Povetkin or Luis Ortiz. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, and I'm out. Bye-bye.